Is this mic on? Because it's your boy, DJ, here with the NFC South versus the NFL. Also, part of the Buck Stops here, which we'll look out for that. But I'm here with my boy, Mike, because we're doing the NFC South versus the NFL.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Mike Ricks, man, host of the Mike Ricks podcast. Also, the Carolina Panthers representative, baby, of the NFC South versus the NFL. But before we get started, do your boys a solid and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you can get all the alerts whenever we dropping content. Yes. Exciting time right now. This is the best video we've recorded over the entire week. We're talking about the future of the NFC South in the Carolina Panthers, baby. What's going on, DJ? I know this is a topic you want to talk about. I already know.
So when Mike told me we got to talk about the Carolina Panthers, I said, can we take a day off? Can we take a day off? I'm just playing, man. We've been talking about goddamn Carolina Panthers, but they're an interesting team. So we're going to look into it. Mike.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask the question I've been asking all week.
Yes, sir.
Can the Carolina Panthers compete? Possibly. It's been a while for a playoff spot or even the division.
Ooh, scary. Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that a long time.
Absolutely. What you thought, boy? After we done knocked out this draft and knocked out this free agency and the things that we're building and the coaching staff and all of that getting more experience. Absolutely, man. We got right guys in for the Matt Rhule system. He's steadily getting the right guys in. You're talking about a team that competed in every single game last year, came down to one score games of 8 games, had opportunities to win the game or at least tie it and went 0 for 8. All right. So you know that they're going to come out here and fight. The roster, I love the makeup of the roster. We had 11 draft picks. We got there was I think it was Daniel Jeremiah put out a report saying that the Carolina Panthers killed this draft and got the best value of any team in the NFL with their picks. You're talking about guys that they had ranked in the top 150, and we got excellent value with every single pick. So kudos to Carolina because you're going in the right direction. Now, when I look at what we got to play against, you're talking about a pretty much, I wouldn't say rebuilding, but a first-year head coach in Atlanta. You also have the New Orleans Saints that you got. They don't know, they're dealing with a new quarterback situation with the retirement of the Hall of Fame, Drew Brees. And then you got the Super Bowl champs that you really going to have to compete against. Not saying those others that you don't. And then we got to, look at the schedule and these other quarterbacks. And I know our quarterback is improving, but I'm not scared of many of these quarterbacks that we got to face. And teams. So this is going to be, I think it's up in the air. I think we got a really, really good shot of getting to the playoffs. It's 7 teams. We got 17 games. Like I said, I love the roster. I really do. What's your thoughts on that before we go further down with the breakdown for other team, man?
So, obviously you have enlightened me a lot, obviously, with the Carolina Panthers. Because, lately we've been starting back up. Obviously, everybody's been watching and appreciate y'all doing that. And, we started off with the draft, right? And both of us agree Carolina Panthers did a really good job in the draft, right? So just knowing that, learning their roster, look, it seems like at this point, when you really look at their roster outside of our roster, you guys so far look like you have a pretty full roster of starters and, potential players that are going to be there and can grow whatever, but already at a certain start point that Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Falcons and New Orleans Saints, you could say, are kind of lacking a little bit. So just that alone, roster-wise, you guys should be a lot better, and you guys should be in that type of position. I mean, like you said, you got rid of Teddy Bridgewater, let many y'all, like I said, I'm not going to put no words in your mouth, blame a lot of those close games that you mentioned on Teddy Bridgewater, right? So you replaced him with a Sam Darnold, which many people know he was in a shitty ass situation there with Adam Gase, and the Jets have been a dumpster fire as of late. And he's right now y'all saving grace. The reason why I ain't go out to Justin Fields, because I think Matt Rhule did come out and say something that he, obviously they do believe in Sam, because that's why obviously he's gonna get pelleted with Justin Field questions. But he said it, he believes in Sam. So he put that in there. Obviously, your receiving core looks really good. Robbie DJ Moore's been, 1,000-yard receiver the last couple of years. You got that boy Terrace Marshall in the draft. Pretty strong there, right? You got a couple other players there. You guys are pretty stacked there, right? And then you move on. I like it. You finally got a tight end. Your offensive line, I'm interested to still see the way you're going to build it and bring it together. I think that's the one place it's going to be interesting to watch and see how it's going to work, right? And then obviously you guys were working on the defense. That drafted nothing but defense last year. A lot of players got a lot of experience last year. You went after the one thing that I said that's going to make y'all, I think, going to be able to compete is going after a first-round pick in Jaycee Horn. Now you filled that position along, basically now across the field. I can honestly say you have a real starter at almost every position on your defense. So you guys are the one team that I'm looking at like, okay, you guys put up this roster pretty well. What y'all got? That's what y'all doing. Y'all ain't trying to be that sweet no more.
And that's fair, man. We got to see what we got. I mean, Sam Darnold to me has no excuses with this roster. Matt Rhule has to step his game up too, and he shouldn't have any excuses with this roster. So that's going to be the key. Will he be able to coach this football team to get us over the hump, to be able to get to the playoffs? This is only his second year as an NFL coach. So one thing about him, though, I really like, he asked the right questions. He surrounded himself around the right people. He seems to have a philosophy and a process, and he's working the hell out of it. I love everything this man is doing, so I'm extremely excited about this football team. We had to go there, DJ. This is a unit that no one in the South feared. And that was our secondary. Everybody looked forward to going, especially if you had a passing team. Oh, you were looking forward to play against the Carolina Panthers because you were going to get your rocks off against them. Look at Julio not too long ago getting over 300 yards. Look at Mike Evans, Chris Godwin going over. Hey. Like this is something that had to be addressed. So I'm extremely glad we addressed it, man. And you're right. I think when you look at this team and their roster, just from start to finish on defense and offense, I think we're on paper, we're there. We are absolutely there. Now we just got to put it together. And I will say this. I think we're going to go as far as our defense takes us. I think our defense is going to win us quite a bit of games as long as Sam Darnold can take care of the ball, which he hasn't shown in his history that he can do that. But if he can manage and minimize his turnovers, oh, yeah, we're in the game because Christian McCaffrey has him a lead blocker and the tight end halfback we've drafted. Thank you, DJ, for that. I'm so grateful that you brought him to my attention because I love it. That's one of my favorite picks in Tommy Tremble. So, yeah, I really think a healthy him. We got depth behind C-Mac. We got depth behind all these wide receivers. We got tight end. We got offensive linemen. We got depth everywhere, and it's young depth. So I think we're going to be able to compete, not just this year, but years to come. And I can see us getting a wild card. I'm not ready to say we're going to be able to take over the division yet, but I know that I'm spoiling it, but that's just where I'm taking it right now.
Yeah. And with everything you said, I'm pretty much on par with you. You said your team is going to take, Mr. Eric Snow. I mean, Phil Snow. I cleaned up before you did. But anyway, and just I feel like I segued into what I believe is going to be the biggest thing that's going to take y'all as far as you're going to take. I think it's this coaching staff. I made very clear about Atlanta Falcons with Arthur Smith and the uphill battle he has as a first-year head coach and the inexperience over there. I still want to see it when it comes to the scenarios of coming down the stretch and winning games. Like I said, we talked about Teddy Bridgewater earlier. Look, I also think the coaches have to put you in position to be able to win those games. I know y'all say he fumbled the ball and lost those games, but I think that also comes down to coaching. When you lose that many games by that close, you got to point to the coaches. And that's my personal opinion. I think you still have a wet behind the ears, offensive coordinator that's still working some things out as an offensive coordinator. Like you said, if Teddy Bridgewater is struggling as an offensive coordinator, you got to make some adjustments throughout the season to be able to see that type of stuff in Joe Brady. So, like you said, I'm very impressed by the roster. I'm very impressed by the roster. I'm not going to lie. But I think now it points a very deep magnification on Matt Rhule and his staff. I think you have to put it there now. You can't. There's no more excuses. Like you said, like I'm saying right now, this roster looks like it's ready to compete, and it should. So they really have no true excuse in regards to, losing close games like they did last year. So
Right. And the thing I love about it is we have competition everywhere, and competition, in my opinion, breeds excellence. But there is one position that I see that there isn't a lot of competition, and that's at the quarterback position. And so I'm going to mention it just a little bit because we had the opportunity to draft more depth at that position at the number one pick. Even though I was for getting Jaycee Horn, and I'm still for it. And I understand the logic behind Matt Rhule not going after him because what it would have done with Sam Darnold coming from that hellacious place in New York, with his confidence and all of that, he needs a fresh start where he can be the guy and come in and have the opportunity to show what he is capable of. And I don't know if that would have hindered him, put a little bit more pressure. I don't know, pressure bust pipes. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think that would have been too fair for him year one. My question is, he hasn't played an entire season. So if he can't get through this season, who do we have as a backup? Now we're looking at PJ Walker and potentially Will Greer. Are we going to be happy with them? Are we going to be able to win football games? Can they control whatever needs to be controlled for us to have success? I don't know. It's up in the air. PJ Walker did start a game with the Detroit Lions, and we shut him out because our defense was balling, and he was able to get enough points in for us to win. But I do think our defense should carry us, even if that did happen. But that does raise a concern. So I did want to bring that up, man.
very good take. Very good take. Makes a lot of sense. So with all that being said, Mike, I know you might slow a little bit, but go more into it. Where do you see the way too early May edition of can the Carolina Panthers compete for a win record? I mean, I maybe not say the other one, but I think we're interested because this is a team that we can see ascending, right? So I'm gonna say a winning record, playoffs, division. Give it to me.
Oh, that's great, man. I'm glad you started with winning record because we didn't have that last year. So we got to crawl before we can walk and walk before we can run, right? We crawled, now we're in the walking stage, and hey, walking would be getting the winning record. But I think with this roster, this coaching staff, the competitiveness, them going out there trying to play every game like it's their last, I think they got to make up where they can get to the playoffs. So if I'm them, the expectation should be playoffs this year.
Okay. I'm struggling with this. No, I'm not. There's no hate. I'm not. It's definitely okay. It's not definitely.
Go with your gut.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think y'all want teams to go for the division, right? Because there's a 17 that's going to be in the playoffs. I do feel like you guys will be one of those teams that are going to be, one of the lower tier teams that's going to have a chance at 7th or 6th spot. So that's what makes it very interesting. I want to say winning record at this point, but I think a winning record will also get you to the playoffs, like to a degree. So I kind of threw that at you. It was kind of a curveball, but I was like, I do think if you get to 9-7 this year, that is an opportunity to make the damn playoffs. So I'm not going to give records obviously at this point, but that's obviously the first part of a winning record. I mean, 8-8, you could say too.
Well, since they changed to the 17-game schedule, it's going to be an odd number. So that would
be
9 and 8.
So 9. That's so weird. That's so weird.
That's going to be strange. There's not going to be a team that can be 500 ever, unless you get a tie.
Yeah, you got to be either 9-8 and
unless you get 8-8 and tied, then maybe you can be.
Which that's been a lot lately in the NFL. Right. So, but yeah, I would say you guys are a team that, if anybody, it shouldn't be a surprise if the Carolina Panthers are actually, one of those teams that we're talking in December, around week 15, the last 2 games, competing for a playoff spot. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it does come down to this coaching staff and showing their ability to coach in the NFL.
Fact. So, hey, everybody, Carolina Panther fans, Bucks fans, Saints fans, Falcons fans, let us know what you think. Let us know where you put the Carolina Panthers. I know it's too early. Depth charts haven't come out. The schedule hasn't even come out yet. But we're just doing this just based off the draft picks and the roster as of right now. And so let us know what you think. And also, while you're letting us know, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell if you didn't do it at the beginning of the video. This your boy, Mike Ricks, man. Thank y'all again for the love and support. I am your Carolina Panthers representative. Don't forget to check out the Mike Ricks podcast. Also, hey, we in this thing, baby. We building just like Matt Rhule said.
Anyway, and this is your boy DJ, man. Part of the South First NFL, but also about to be the Buck Stop here. Look out for that. And I just got a blank, but I appreciate y'all checking us out. And also go back and check the other videos that we're doing about the way too early. Appreciate y'all always checking us out, man. Mike, get us out of here.
You already know. I'm gonna hit that button and we out. Peace.